your host, Jim Grant, Edema, Oklahoma Squash, the biggest outlaw of them all, Chad Scott, and guess who else? Oklahoma's own Shasta. Bigfoot Outlaw Radio.
Good evening, everybody. It's been a while, but I'm back on the air live, in the flesh, ready to rock and roll. How is everybody doing out there tonight? I hope that you took time to spend with us while we had a little fun and talked about Bigfoot just a little while. And we hope that you enjoyed enough that you'll come back and see us often. And we love each and every one of our listeners. Their word and their comments are very much appreciated. Got two of the greatest female Bigfoot observers in the world with me, Vicky and Kelly from Texas. How y'all ladies doing tonight?
Doing great on this end and ready to go.
I'm doing just dandy.
Just a dandy?
Yeah.
It's good to hear you guys' voice again over there.
Same here. It's good to be back on the air and be out back in the chat, cutting up with everybody like I usually do. Hey, everybody out there. It's good to be back and be back with all you guys.
We got Chad Scott. He's one of our main hosts too. He's unfortunately he works for a living. Some of us don't, but he works every other week, and the week that he's not working, he will be on here as a regular co-host of ours too. Plus, we've got our good buddy and the guy who has designed the show, created the show, named the show, come up with the music for the show, the video for the show, and we have numerous other major surprises coming up in the future. And we'll be speaking very highly of them a little bit later on in the show. Some things you won't notice quite yet, but you'll notice them when they happen. We're just a bunch of outlaws. I mean, doggone it, I've been told for so long, you know, some of the things. And you know what's so darn funny about it is, guys, I understand completely why people just stand back and they just think, well, you know, how in the world can a old country boy from Mississippi be seeing boogers like he says he is? Well, I used to think that thought too when I was trying to count them. And up until that point in time, I'd counted 8. But since then, I've been fortunate enough to see some things that a lot of other people just don't see a lot of. But I can understand that. There's a certain attitude and a way you got to be in the woods before you're accepted. And this creature is totally sensitive to all of that. And I'd like to think I have achieved this type of attitude. I know I don't care to partake of the game in the woods as much as I used to, but I love to hunt. But the last 4 or 5 years, I've basically just been in the woods. I haven't harvested a deer in at least 3 years, so I nothing major. It's just an attitude, and it's hard for people at times to think what I'm saying is the truth. My major deal is I want to help people. I want to help them to better understand what is out there, to be able to have an opportunity or a chance to see one for themselves. And if people want to hear what I have to say, you know, you're the ones I'm talking to. But, you know, if others, distractors or whatever you want to call them, want to make light of something that somebody's wanting to freely share, and for you to really just make an attempt at the methods and the things shared with you on the show from other researchers, or observers. I don't even like the word researchers. But that makes us outlaws in the field, because what surprises and amazes me, if these guys who call themselves, the know-alls of the Bigfoot world, if they knew what they act like they knew, why don't they share it with everybody? Do y'all get my drift?
Yes, that's true, but I know people are kind of funny about doing that because of the criticism. And with me, it's just put it all out there, take it or leave it, shelf it, throw it out, use it if you can. It's just, I like the flow of information, and I like to sift through all of it myself and make my own decision.
Right. Well, we don't want to. We're learning. That's why we're still out there doing what we love to do, because not only is this a big adventure for us, we're learning new things as we go, and we like sharing these experiences. No, we're not out there with a bunch of cameras and thermals and recorders. Our main objective is to learn instead of to collect anything that would be considered evidence anyway, which I'm not making no excuses. I'm really not. I've offered a half a dozen times to come and see it for yourself, bring all the equipment you want to bring with you, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, yep, you have. I mean, everyone is welcome. We don't charge nobody, and if anybody would enjoy to go, just let us know sometimes, and we'll see what we can do. And
no problem with that. None at all.
There's one other little thing here that we need to do, and for those of us people out there that know us will understand this, and for those out there that don't, we do ask you to kind of be a little patient with us. But we had, to us, a member of our group passed. He died, and we want to dedicate this show to him. Even though he is a four-legged friend, he was a damn good friend, and that was Tim, his dog's Bo. And so this show is dedicated to Bo.
Yep, we're really going to miss. He was a companion with us, really. I mean, yes, he was a dog, and yes, I wanted to kill that dog half a dozen times, but he was really a part of us. I mean, there's not many things we can speak of that we've done in our past that does not entail a retelling over and over and over of tales of Bo.
Yes, Bo was a very unique dog. He was with us when a lot of us all got together, and he just became a part of each of us. And so to not dedicate this show to Bo would, to me, just be an insult. He's just we each have so many fond memories of him that it was a very sad time for us when he died. Hello?
Yeah, one of the memories that I have of Bo was back in May, one of our outings, and that was the night that we got skunked. You remember that, Vicki?
Yes, we did.
And when we were scrambling to get into the vehicle in Tim's truck, Bo jumped in and he got into my lap. And he's not he's a big, pretty good-sized dog.
Yes, he is. I guess my favorite one would be when Bo had, we were going out, we had loaded up, and he always thought whenever Tim's big dually fired up, he was supposed to be in it. And so we had loaded up, and we had went out doing our observing that we do, and we had came back, and Tim had said, "What's that up in the road?" And he speeded up, and it was Bo. Well, we had locked Bo in his big, nice, new RV, and Bo had got out, but we didn't know how he had got out. And I remember we went to the door. He unlocked the door, and there was about 1 foot, 2 foot of the inside of the door that just fell on the ground. And the inside was in shambles. My dog, Max, his cubby, he was in his cubby. It's all womper-jawed and turned every which way, and it was just a wreck. That's one of my fond memories of Bo. Bear, what's one of your fond memories? I think we have lost Bear.
Oh, there he is.
Hello? Well,
there he is. Bear, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's one of your fond memories of Bo?
My fondest memory is the time that it was your very first outing up there in northeast Mississippi. And we had driven down this AP road, the infamous AP road. We'll have to get into that on one of our future shows. But anyhow, to get out of there, you had to drive all the way around. Well, I told Coonbo, you just drive on out, and me and Shasta will stay back here. You know, everything will quiet down. They'll think everybody left. Maybe something will come out. And it took about 15, 20 minutes for Coonbo to get around to the other side where he was going to pick us up at. And after they had left, we were standing there by this cotton field, and I seen something dart across the road up the hill from us. And me. In the
Bear, you're breaking up.
Bear, you're breaking up. You're losing signal or something, hon. Bear? Okay. Let me go and tell him to call back in real quick. And but yeah, he was just great, and we'll miss you, and we're going to move on to what Bear's been doing out here into Oklahoma.
Am I back?
Call in.
Yeah,
Okay.
there he is.
Hey. My phone's giving me a fit tonight. Sorry, guys. Where did they get into my tail?
Well, I had done passed on to your tail since you had fell out. We were going to pick up what you've been doing out here in Oklahoma.
Tell everybody your version. You ain't going to happen.
Go ahead and finish your story.
I took off up this hill like, what was I going to do if I caught the thing that run across the road anyway? I didn't know what it was. Could have been a deer. It was heavily bodied. It goes scampered across the road. Well, I jump up that embankment. Well, here comes Shasta right behind me. About that time, Coonbo let out a raccoon squall on top of the hill where they was parked at. Well, when he did, it scared the hell out of Shasta. She was jumped straight up that hill onto my shoulders. Well, about the time just before she jumped, Bo was standing right behind her, and he goosed her. Bo goosed Vicky, and she ended up on top of my head on a brand-new Stetson hat I used to wear a lot. But that is my most fondest memory of Bo, when he goosed Shasta, and she was reacting to Coonbo's raccoon squall at the time. It was a very hairy situation. And here I am, teetottering on top of the slope of this hill with a woman on top of my head. I can't see nothing. And it was all in the dark. It was a very fun, one of my most fondest memories.
Yeah, I was really new into all this, and so I didn't have sense enough to be really scared, or I'd never took off up that path anyway. So I'm glad Bo was there, even though he goosed me, so he said. I kind of like to not remember that part, but he's a great dog, and I'm going to miss him. So, Bear, you want to get into telling everybody what you've been doing out here for the last 2 months in Oklahoma?
Well, you can't get used to the wind. I'm telling you, the wind blows all the time. The terrain out here in southwestern Oklahoma is very arid and dry at times. Dan Ricky, that's who I'm staying with, he said it hadn't rained in something like 7 months before I got here. And when I did, though, of course, it started raining for them. And I said, hell, wherever I go, I bring storm with me. You know how that goes. But we've been promised snow twice, didn't get nothing. Just like that Mississippi weather back home. The darn weathermen, they all ought to be shot. That's one of the most worthless jobs a man could have, is to be a weatherman, because he can't do a dang thing about the weather. Anyhow, the terrain out here is very open, you would think, but once you start riding through the countryside, everything's rolling country. what you may be thinking you're looking at is a broad, wide open expanse. There could be three or four canyons or small creeks running right through the middle of it, and you don't even know it until you get a certain angle on the fold of the land. And it's very deceiving out here. I do know that the boogers out here, and we've seen some tracks of some, heard one night. Shasta's got some hair she collected from, we think was a specimen, a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. I call them boogers. This is an outlaw radio show, so we are all booger hunting. They do run the creek bottoms. It seemed like you could actually funnel them a lot better out here, but no, you can't. That's why they don't respond a lot vocally. I noticed the ones out here are very silent. They don't vocalize that often.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how different do you think it is out here than from what you're familiar with, say, back east and in some other parts in the South, on us doing our observing out here?
Well, one thing, back home we had trees, even though most of them now are becoming evergreen pine trees. All these tree farms, you know, you can turn a buck quicker by growing pine. That type foliage can muffle calls. I mean, you still going to have an echo. You still be able to hear them across the hills. But out here, you can hear a coyote call, and he could be 2 or 3 miles away. The call is just constantly just echoing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can hear things from, heck, where Dan and Shasta live, we're a long way from any neighbor, but you can actually hear them have a conversation. You can hear their TV inside the house, and their TV, you know, be on with the doors and the windows closed. That's how quiet it is out here. You can hear anything real, you know, it don't have to be too strident of a noise. So I think that has a lot to do with why they're very closed-mouthed out here. I do know that makes them stealthier because, see, if you're not vocalizing at all, you're just like you're in a constant stalk mode because it's nothing that we can hear. Y'all haven't had that much success hearing many calls out here, have you, Shasta?
No, we haven't. We have heard some, and what few we have heard was pretty awesome. But me and Dan had quit taking the recording equipment with us a long time ago because they just don't do it that often, and we just like to go and sit out and observe and listen and see what would happen anyway. But they would do some every now and then. It kind of would surprise you when they did. And, well, like when we went over to our area, what we call the bottom, that one night, and I did hear something that I have never heard over there before, which most of the things that we do hear and a lot of things that will happen will occur when we have new people with us at our location. I don't know if it has to do with...
And they had a redneck.
Yes. It's always been, I've only heard what I call the huffing, the long, drawn-out breaths that are massive lung capacity.
I know what
and
you're
deliberate.
About.
I've only heard that in Mississippi when we were out on a outing with you once. But I did hear it also here. And we had a new person with us that had never been with us before. And it was another time that they had done something we'd never got growled at or anything like that. That happened when we had a new people with us. And then the night that you went over with us, we parked where we totally different, in a different area, location, and looking back down where we usually always are. We changed it up.
Right.
And I could hear what sounded like grumbling. Now, there's nobody there. We saw that. There's no people.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, it reminded me of grumbling, like that. And that really got my attention. And then you can pick it up from there on what you saw that occurred after that.
Well, you know, I was just glancing back toward the bridge, and Shasta said, they said I think y'all had mentioned you'd only parked on that side of the road one other time before, and the scenario was we had a creek at our back on the north side, and we was facing on the south side back toward the lake itself. That's why they called it the bottoms, and it was sort of like a slough where this creek that was running parallel with the road on a east-west trajectory. It at that point had curved, and that had cover for, you know, we wasn't so much worried about anything coming from behind us. So I was keeping an eye back toward the bridge end of the deal. And it was one of those nights where the moon was out just enough where you could see pretty good amongst shadows. And I seen something cross the road, but I don't know what it was. You can call anything you want to Bigfoot, but I can't say with 100% surety it was Bigfoot. But I do know that whatever did cross that road slipped up into that little finger of land where that curve in the creek forced the creek to run parallel with the road, and it was over there behind some blow-down brush. Whatever it was giving its presence away over there in them bushes, and you heard it too.
Yes, I did. I kind of know how they operate down there, and we have found tracks where you had seen that cross. They do like to cross in there, and we had also found a neat knuckle print that run along the creek banks like that. So it didn't really surprise me about it, and it didn't surprise me that they didn't vocal. It did surprise me that they grumbled. So it makes me wonder about sometimes when you have introduced new people into your area with you, on what kind can you expect different responses when you switch things up on them?
Right.
How have you found that to be when you would bring new people out with you?
It all depends on the demeanor of the person at the time. If they're real nervous and over obvious and wanting to actually experience or see a Bigfoot, a lot of things wouldn't happen as quickly as it would if somebody that was more calm and collective, when they went into the woods. It depends on really the attitude of the group as a whole. And, if you're near them at any given time where they would want to investigate you to the extent that they'd want to let you know they were there by vocalizing or twisting trees around, shaking limbs, throwing stones, sticks, whatever. They're just, these things are something else. They blow your mind. How they go, adapt to different locations like they do. And, if you just looked around out here on this open prairie, which is a huge deception in itself, you'd say, well, where in the heck would there be enough out here to support a Bigfoot? But, we just got a fresh report this past Friday, of one tearing through the back screen of a lady's house. And it's not, 30 miles from here, Shasta?
Yeah, it's about 30, 35 miles away from here.
And we're going to try it. Yeah, go ahead. No,
well, it's just that they had tore into the screen, and this was also at the area where it had tore into the shed. It has a history of them.
These people aren't saying it was a raccoon, it was a dog, it was a cat. They're saying it was a Bigfoot. They actually saw it.
Yeah, they were. So, they said it was a booger.
And I've actually been over there to this spot once. We even went there one night, and it is a beautiful area. If I was a booger, I'd love to use that area as cover to come and go as a police.
Well, they run that creek. It's a big creek, and that's what they tend to do out here is they run the creeks and the canyons and the bottoms, and that's their highway, and that's just where they hang out. They can't afford to give anything much away because they don't have the vast woods like back east or Pacific.
Well, see, that's another difference too, Shasta, is the fact that back home they run the creeks also, but heck, the only cover out here they have is what? The creeks.
Yeah.
Back home you've got plots of woods or tall sage or whatever to run through, but out here it's just wide open.
Yeah, and they don't, I think Dan and I have heard them wood knock, but not very much. It's not. They don't even do that much out here. They did do that I recall about 3 or 4 times this whole time that we have really been going over there. And once it was just about 30, 40, 50 feet in the wood lines with one loud smack. And but they don't even do the wood knocking. It's kind of a different ball game out here than that what we have discovered back east when we would go. You have to really be paying attention. And even on their, here's another one on their tracks. I kind of tend to think they know, and Bear can tell you about the way the soil is out here. If they left a track this morning and you drove wherever looking for it, the wind would have it covered up.
Yes,
the best you would get would be an impression.
I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. When this turn wind out here is blowing, it's consistently blowing anywhere from 25 to 40 miles an hour. This afternoon, it's blowing as high as just up to 65, and I kid you not. It's all out this bald-headed boy can do to hang on to his hat.
We have to glue it on.
Hey, now.
We have went out. Me and Bear would go out. We went out after the rain we got. He was just sure we was going to be able to find some tracks. We have went out after the snow we got, and nothing. I tend to think that they know. It doesn't last long here. You can ask him. We were like a week ago Saturday. It was, freezing cold, really cold. But
Dan, Dan's a super observer in himself, and he seemed to think he sort of got them patterned a little bit. He said over the years, during the times that y'all have actually spent in the bottom, it was during the height of the summer, and spring and summer. Well, it's just now greening up. He seems to think that they are wintering somewhere else, up another branch off that lake, and I tend to agree with him with what he said. And old Dano knows his stuff now. He's pretty sharp on his feet. But he's told me he don't think they're in here like they are during the summertime. So that's a seasonal thing there. And we don't tend to have that much back east either, or south. I'd say south, but it's east of where I'm at right at the moment.
Well, we had noticed that they started in the hunting here, I don't know, around November or whatever, and we just would forget it. We just don't. You just don't get hardly no activity or nothing, and so we wouldn't go do much till about, I think, the end of January and in February on through. That would be our busier times, like from February on up until like November when the hunting would start, and then we might as well hang it up. Most of ours was during the summer. It was, Kelly has been up here during those times, and it would be more likely for things to happen or you find things than during November through into Januay. It is a different ball game out here. It really is.
One thing I have learned, I've got to research with an Arapaho friend of y'all's named Randy, and that man has taught me some new stuff that I never would have believed worked, but it works. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to just dish that out free, but I have had a blast learning from the Indians that I've met out here. I've got to meet people from the Cheyenne, the Arapaho tribe, the Kiowa tribe, the Comanche tribe, Delawares, Wichitas, Caddoans, Apache, and I'm planning on heading back east here right after Easter in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to really miss it out here. It's been a blast out here. I love the Wichita Mountains. I wish everybody could go with me to see the Wichita Mountains once before they pass on the journey. I told Shasta I was turning native. I love the Indian philosophy. I think I'm going to go totally native.
Well, it's like I told you when you came out here. I said it's like stepping back in time. It's different out here in many aspects. It's different with boogering. just because of you got to work. They make you work for it out here. Whatever you can find, whatever you can get here, anything. And it's not quite like that back east. And why that is, I don't really know. I just know it's that way. And the Wichita Mountains, I'm hoping that me and Bear and maybe Dan, if he hadn't got a spray, will be able to get down there and see what we can do in regards to boogers, see what we can maybe find, or if we can get any type of action down that way. Because we've done found our spot.
Yeah,
we've found our spot, and it's great spot.
Right.
Great spot, but they just.
There is nothing, people. You can see a buffalo. I'm talking about a true buffalo in the zoo. Maybe you'll see them back east, on a ranch without a fence. But until you see these buffaloes lined up on the Cheyenne-Arapaho Reservation, all up and down the swells of these hills over a watering hole, and it just blows you away. You think you done went back in time 150 years, and it's just really wild out here. Very beautiful country. Very beautiful country.
Well, I tell you what, Bear, we also took him up. A lot of people have heard of Concho. We took him up there and showed him Concho. And what are your thoughts about that?
Now, Concho is a pretty spooky place. That's on the Cheyenne-Arapaho Reservation up there. And it's kind of like on top of a plateau or a knoll looking down, but what's so cool about Concho is everything on the extreme north side, peeling all around in a semicircle toward the west and the south, is nothing but heavily wooded, thicketed. It's a mess out there, and a lot of people claim you can't, learn anything by riding up and down the road, but they're so wrong. It's pathetic at times. If you go through a area like farmland or places where people maintain fencing to keep cattle or horses in an area, here's a big thing to start looking for. These farmers put a lot of time and money into these fencing, and they do their best to keep them as taut or tight as they can. And when Bigfoot crosses these fences, he'll put a lot of weight. He's going to push that top wire straight down, and then he's going to straddle that fence. And if you'll ride down the road casually and just glance at a lot of these barbed wire fences, if you're in areas that you can use them to your advantage, start looking for gaps where they've been broken in odd places. A lot of these times you'll find these gaps on the slopes of hills or in curves, where you can't see both directions of the road, so he can remain out of sight when he's trying to cross it. And you'll see sags in the top of these fences too. Deer will jump over a fence. Deer will fall on a fence. It's sort of rare. It does happen, though. But a lot of the time, a deer would rather go through the fence instead of over the fence. And just start looking for spots like that where you're just casually traveling down the road. And there's places like that. This place out here is just totally ate up with evidence where something huge and heavy has crossed the fence. Actually, Shasta collected hairs. I showed her a new trick, too, while we was riding through there. I said, check out the barbed wire where the wire is on the fence to see if there's any hair. And, of course, we found a lot of hair. Some of it was hog, some of it was deer. But she found some off it was about what, would you say, a 6-foot tall fence?
Well, it was a regular fence, whatever height they are, but there was no horses, livestock, cattle, anything up there. It was up at a place.
No, there was nothing allowed there. That's that area everybody's heard Dan speak of as purgatory.
Yeah, and that's where we got stuck. It's where I have found several tracks. Me and Dan have found several up there over the years. It's a hot area. It has lots of stories about it. It's remote. Nobody lives around there. Not
Nobody lives around there. There's no power lines. No power lines going to this area because nobody lives there.
We had left, and we wasn't maybe about, fourth of a mile out of, say, Purgatory proper, and I was watching the fence. And I said, whoa, 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 wind was blowing, which was actually a plus because it made me notice this hair. And it was on the second strand, and it was about a 9-inch long hair. It was kind of fine, and it had a curl to it. It wasn't straight. It's light-colored. So I jumped out, and I had a little old baggie with me or whatever, and I got it off of the fence wire. And that's the first time I've ever found the hair up there. And, of course, the best you could see in this place is impressions. Yep. There were impressions, and so we went on and drove on down, and then that's when we got stuck, and it was getting close to dark, of which it is not a place you care to be stuck in without at least some of your things you take with you, and we were stuck.
Yeah. Well, we almost made it, by gosh.
Yeah, we did. He speeded up. He kept saying, we're in trouble. We're in trouble if this gets any worse. We're in trouble if this gets any worse. It got worse.
I've been doing a lot of the chauffeuring around out here, and I've learned Oklahoma pretty well, but Dan and Shasta both have learned that when I say, hey, y'all, watch this, they get extra more alert.
Yeah, but luckily it was a Friday, and Oklahoma, good old Oklahoma boys, they were having a party back up in the woods. And that was to our advantage because we could have still been sitting there.
Yep.
And they pulled us out. But, this also area was where they had our friend Kurt, I think it was his brother-in-law, had his deer stand all torn.
Ripped
the door, and the way he described about the hinges and stuff, it was a pretty difficult deal, and it was just totally ripped off. And it was right there. It was not far from us. And then on across, there was another.
This area all in there is where, this is where y'all found those big footprints the other year.
Yes, it was. The one, he had crossed the road, whatever it was, or I found the one, because like I say, it is very sandy. And you knew it was a footprint, but you don't get all that beautiful definition that I see in other people's that I would wish I could get. Right. But you knew it was a footprint, and it had stepped into the sandy bank. I think they do this on purpose out here. And then it stepped up, and it was a pretty good stretch to step right up to the embankment, and then on over the fence. Over the fence.
Well, we found some prints south of, it was a place called Horseshoe Canyon, but it was, like you said, the wind just blows all the tracks away out here. They don't last an hour. All the definition's gone. Track is nothing but an impression then.
Yeah, it just fills it in enough, and I think it's just an opinion, but I think they're aware of that. I think they know their environment well enough to know, especially here, okay, we're going to leave prints. We're holding up, and they know the weather here, it is such that it's gone in a day.
Yep.
And because you don't find them fresh, beautiful, with the toes showing, things like that right out in where we are. I think they use the terrain and the environment and the weather all to their advantage.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Well, you want to give a shout-out on who all's in the chat? I'd love to know who's there, seeing as I don't never sit in front of a computer.
Okay, we have our own Watch One from our Alabama forum, BigfootForum.com, Mike McLean. We have Nebraska Serenity and Cryptic Squatch, Antel, Illinois John, and Booger Kings. Hello, Booger. And we have Reverend Strone, Tennessee Foot. Let's see here. Did I get lost?
I
did. We have
Don't follow her directions.
We have Oklahoma Squatch. We have Oklahoma Squatch, our own Matt, and we have John Cartwright. Hello, John, and I will send you some more dogs on our Farmtown thing. And we have, let's see here. It keeps jumping funny, people, and I've got it extended out. We have our own Shane, Campfire Shadows, and we have Creek, and Creek is the one, he done our beautiful intro. Wonderful job, Creek, and thank you. And we have Michael X and North Dakota Terminator. John's here.
Oh,
that's a surprise.
Here.
Yes.
I'll be darned.
And we have D. Wells and M. Jim's ex-wife, and we have Great Secrets, Long Island Yeti. Hello, Mike.
Hey,
we have
Mike.
Miss Gigi and Leonard. Hello, guys. And our own Evelyn Daly, who, folks, she has a birthday tomorrow, and so everyone wish Evie a early happy birthday. Our good friend Evie, and we love you.
Happy
girl.
birthday!
Happy birthday to you. And how old are you? 29. I won't tell you. And we have Derek and Cryptid Hunt. That's Jordan, and I'd like to say Jordan has a new show on Saturday nights at, let's see, Jordan, 7 o'clock. If I've got that wrong, type it all in. Type in the information for your new show. So all you guys go out and support Jordan on Saturday night. We've got something now to listen to on Saturday night. Great.
Right.
And we have our own Henry May, who's, I think, Henry's got a show on tonight, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, right? Following us.
Henry, get all your information up there and everything, and we'll be heading over your way after ours. And let's see, that's all, guys. Yep, that's all we got there. Cal?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to let everybody know that we have a MySpace, and I'll be putting it up in the chat, and we also have Facebook, and we encourage all the guests to add us, to register on Pal Talk and add us.
Yes, please do. And let's see here. I think that's covered that too, guys.
Hey, ain't y'all got something planned for our audience?
Oh, you'd like
Yeah,
us
we
to tell
sure.
about the fan appreciation thing?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of wanted to do a little something special for all of our listeners to kind of just tell y'all thank you for supporting us and, just kind of give a little something back to y'all. So we're going to have what we call a fan appreciation contest, and once a month we're going to be drawing a winner for a prize that we're going to be giving away to one of our lucky listeners. And to be eligible to participate, just shoot us an email at bfoutlaws@gmail.com. So, and we'd like to also encourage all of our guests that are interested to please register, get in on the fun, and get in the chat and get to know all of us. And if you don't want to, that's great too. And we still welcome you to the show. But if you want to participate, get you an account on Blog Talk and shoot us an email. And we'll do
Sounds
this once
great.
a month. And
Yes,
it's
sir.
our way of letting you guys know that we appreciate you. And what else would you expect from a bunch of dang outlaws?
We're cheap. Oh, well, these girls, they commented giving all you guys a break, a little intermission, and I said the only way I'll agree to it is if I'm allowed to let some buddies of mine do the music. There's a band out of Charlotte, North Carolina called Preacher Stone that was formed in 2008. It's a bunch of guys I know, Ronnie Riddle, Marty Hill, Benny Hewitt, Glenn Blackwood, and Jason Donaldson. They're just a regular old rock band from the South. They've been together less than a year with their debut CD nearly ready to be released. Preacher Stone's an unknown entity going to be combining spit and swagger talent into a guitar-driven demon termed the Modern Southern Rock Band. They just finished filming their latest video this past Sunday, and it is posted on their website, which you need to check out. I think the ladies are going to post some information about how to get there. I hope you enjoyed. Woo! How y'all like them boys?
That was rocking.
That's Outlaw Bigfoot Radio, guys. This is us. If you don't like us, leave. We're here. What's your worst nightmare? Is letting a redneck in the door? Ask Shasta.
I do have to say, everybody, I can't take him nowhere. That was rocking. Folks, y'all can find them We haven't put them up on our MySpace yet because we wanted to surprise everybody. But you can, we're going to have them up. But their MySpace page, I have posted the link. I'll do it again. Is you can go right there. That is their MySpace page, and it has their music on it, and they're really just kick ass. Pardon my language.
I've got a lot of surprises for a lot of deprived Southern rock fans in the next, I guess, 6 or 7 years.
Oh, well.
I got enough music. Are we going to try to take any phone calls tonight? We're only doing on the air until 8:30. You know, I mean.
Yes, we are, and we'll hand that over to Cal.
Yep. Our call-in number is 347-324-5347.
Right.
Everyone call in, and let's talk to you.
See how many we can get a hold to on the line and see what's going on out there. Next week,
caller 662, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Henry.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, glad to hear you guys are back.
Oh, it's good to
great
be back.
to be back. We missed y'all, believe it or not. We need
I miss you guys too. Yeah.
We appreciate that, Henry. You just don't know how much, brother. You've done so much for us, we don't know how we'll ever repay you.
I hear you. Well, Bear, how was your adventures in Oklahoma?
I'm still adventuring. I ain't through yet.
Ah. Cool.
He's about to run me to death.
Really?
Shasta says she has seen more of Oklahoma than she ever dreamed was out here since I've been here.
Oh, we have covered a lot.
Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, I've got, let's see, I've got HBM's Crypto Corner tonight at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and my guest will be Don Keating. He's going to talk about the upcoming 21st Annual Ohio Bigfoot Conference and Expo, which is going to take place May 1st through the 3rd. I'm going to be there.
Well, that's good. You go.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Take some culture up there with you.
Yeah, I'll try to. And then
I'm joking. Don't get mad at me. Take some of that Southern culture up there.
Henry he is from Mississippi. He can't help but take that with him.
There you go.
Tell us some more, Henry.
And then in a couple of weeks, I'm hoping to have the organizers of the upcoming Yakima Bigfoot Roundup on the show. And that's Tom Yamarone, Paul Graves, and James Bobo Fay. And it's an event honoring Bob Gimlin and also honoring going to honor John Green and Roger Patterson.
When's this show gonna air, Henry?
That show will be in 2 weeks.
Okay, it'll be in 2 weeks. Okay.
Only thing is, for that show, I'm doing it at a special early start time, so it's going to run head-to-head with you guys. I'm starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Oh, well, we'll work around it. We'll figure something out, brother. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And that event is occurring, that event is happening on May 15th and the 16th at a place called Running Springs Ranch at Neshay, Washington.
Right.
And of course, the Ohio Conference is at Salt Fork State Park in southeastern Ohio, Guernsey County.
We appreciate you calling, brother. We love hearing from you all the time. You take care of yourself, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Hang on 1 second, Henry. You got your show on tonight?
Yes, Don Keating will be the guest.
Okay.
That'll be 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central.
All righty, hon.
Yep.
Well, thanks for calling in, and we appreciate you always. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Henry.
Y'all have a good one.
We got 2 more callers. Oh.
Okay.
Yep, hold on. Okay. Area code 615 and 516, you're on the air. Hello?
Hey, guys.
Hey, who's this?
Yeah, this is Mike Killen. How are you guys?
Hi, Mike.
What are you doing, brother?
Well, you know, I had to call you on your very first episode of your brand new show to wish you all guys luck and great success with your show, which I'm sure you'll be a great success. You guys always enjoyed listening to your show.
Thank you.
I want
to. It never would have happened if it hadn't been for you and Bob, though. Would y'all believe I was once stage struck?
Yeah.
Y'all created monsters.
Yeah, that I find hard to believe, but but anyway, I was listening to Bear earlier. Bear, I'm gonna have to stop calling you Bear from now on. I was listening to him talk about meeting all the Native American tribes out there and interacting with everybody out there in Oklahoma. And Bear, I'm just going to have to change your name. I'm going to have to start calling you Dances with Boogers from now on.
All right. That's a good one.
Hoss, you got my permission to call me as long as you call me for supper. You know how it goes.
Yeah, Mike, he don't miss too many meals.
Yeah, well, I never met him, but by the pictures, I can tell you that for a fact. I'm sure he's one of the first ones in line.
But he does know how to also cook, I must say. He fixed one of his dishes for me, chicken spaghetti. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I want you to know, brother, though, that you're welcome down here anytime. All you got to do is just tell me you're heading south. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. I really hope someday to be able to meet you guys, and I'll certainly take you up on that when I'm able to. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to make any big, long trips anywhere for a while, not until I get myself a job.
Our prayers are with you, cuz, and we fully understand what you're going through. I mean, for real. I don't like talking about the times we're in, but they're getting pretty rough out there, and I just hate that it happens to good people like you. But things going to look up for you, Hoss, and we really appreciate all the support you've ever given me and all the help you've ever done for me. You and Bob are both stand-up guys, and I thank the world, both of you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let you go so you can get some other calls in here. I know you're winding down the show here. But it was great talking to you. Good luck, best of luck with the show. Even though I'm sure I don't need to wish you that, I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Appreciate all the kind words there, Dances with Boogers, and you guys take care and have a great show, and we'll talk to you.
You too. Thanks for calling.
Man. All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Next one up, Cam.
We have Bill Green.
Bill.
Oh, there's old Bill.
How you doing, guys?
Doing great.
Bill, what are you up to, brother?
Yeah, I'm going to be helping Henry on his show tonight at 9:30 on HBM's Crypto Corner.
Well, we're going to be
I'll be there.
Yeah, and I found some possible stick structures last week in my local woods and stuff. Didn't take pictures of them because I didn't have a camera. But so what's new about Bigfoot in your neck of the woods?
Great.
Go ahead,
I'm glad
Bigfoot.
you found that.
We had tell what happened outside the screen door.
Oh yeah, we had got a report, Bill, that they had they said it was a Bigfoot that had tore off their back screen door. This is also had an area that had already had such occurrences before. It's one me and Dan had checked out. It had we had found where they had tore into the building and they had bent the rake. And he had told us that I think our booger has come back, and said that they said I think it was his mother had seen it or whatever. But we wanted to try to get over there this week and check out that area over there and see what was what over there and what had all happened. But yeah, it was a report we got Friday, but we had headed out to Tulsa, so hopefully we can get over there and check that out this week.
Yeah. So you found any footprints lately?
Yes, we did. Since he's been out here, we have found some very interesting impressions. That's about the best out here you can find. But they were pretty good size. They were very large, so it does make you have to wonder about them. And they were in some very good locations that you wouldn't really think people would do it.
It was not footwear either. No shoes or boots made them tracks. So
no, and we did find the hair. On the,
yep.
Oh, cool. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I did find hair.
Have you guys also got any possible photos or film footages of a Sasquatch lately, or?
No, Henry, or Bill, excuse me, we haven't. We've thought about putting our cams back out over here at our area, but we have been really, really busy with seeing the sites and doing some of the boogering and visiting, and so we haven't really done the cams out yet. So we just really don't have no pictures or video, not from out in this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you guys go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you guys go now, but great show tonight, and I'll be in chat to listen to the rest of the show, and I'm sure you got more callers now and stuff.
We'll see you after a little bit. We'll be over there.
Yeah,
with
okay.
Henry, take care of you.
All right.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Kel, what's going on?
Caller 918, you're on the air.
Who could it be?
Oh,
Lord, look
Matt.
at this.
Look out.
Matt.
My life has gone to the dogs.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
did you pick the one or the two?
I picked one.
Which one?
It was a last-minute decision. Had to run out the door and chase my mom down and trade them out in the middle of the street.
Fuzzy?
Oh, no.
No, we went with the short hair, and her name is Daisy.
Oh. Well, give
Matt
Daisy
got
a
him
hug for me.
another dog today.
Another dog. That's what I needed.
Yep, just what you
Guys,
need
I have to
another
tell
dog.
y'all something real quick. I'm having some problems here with the chat. It's not,
I am too.
so I've lost my chat. Okay, it's come back
Well,
up for right now.
There you go.
Good gracious. Yeah, it's
Well,
put it
you
back
know, the rowdy bunch we bring with us, somebody's got to be fooling with the electricity.
up. Oh,
We
man.
got a lot of baggage with us outlaws. We can't help ourselves at times.
Okay, let
But,
me get the call-in number up here for Shane. I think Shane's wanting to call in. Who all do we have on the call-in? We got several, I think. Let's see here.
I got it.
Okay.
This is Outlaw Radio at its finest.
Yes,
it is.
Okay, do we have Gail? 614 area code.
Hey, Vicky and B.
Hey,
Hang on.
I'm doing good. I was wondering, how much of the state have you guys been roaming around looking for boogers? Pretty close to where you live, Vicky, or has it been almost statewide?
We have covered quite a bit. What?
mainly it's around the southwest corner, around the Wichitas, back toward Chickasha, and up and through there. A lot of the territory kind of is directly southwest of Oklahoma City. Where the Canadian River, the Washita, a lot of those areas, a lot of feeder creeks and streams that run into both of those main rivers.
Have you been doing any calling bear or
Oh, yeah.
any luck
Oh,
with that?
yeah. Not really. The luck I'd say we're getting is after I make the calls, they slip in. But it's really hard to say. We hadn't seen. I'm used to them over in Mississippi. They spoil me. Well, the ones anywhere over that way in Alabama, Tennessee, wherever. Usually when we call, we get a response. Over here, if you wait and stick around a little while, it seems like something slips in, and I haven't seen anything to just identify that that's exactly what it was. But you know, a lot of little things happen. You know that want to point in that direction. I just rather reserve judgment on what I actually seen until I've seen it, you know, and that's hard to do at times, but we just try to rein ourselves in.
I was worried about you, buddy. It's been a while since I heard from you, so I was.
Dude,
I
I have been busy, because, see, me and Shasta and Dan don't like talking about it, but I'm going to be going back after Easter, and that's 2 weeks from today, and nobody, they don't want to discuss it too much, and so we're trying to just cram as much in as we can while we're here. there are several new places that we have discovered, one especially on the Washita River that looks like it would be a super spot. That actually, we wanted to do a live broadcast from there tonight, but we didn't get back from Tulsa in time to set up for it. But I do want to try to make some calls in that area. I love how the calls reverberate across these canyons and hills out here. It makes my voice carry a long way. I could just imagine if Coonbo has the best call I've ever heard in my life. If he got his big lungs a hold of these open prairies out here, I bet it would carry. Probably would even get him on the census, the volcanic machine over there at Norman if he took out a biller. But Coonbo, he's the best caller I've ever heard.
Yeah. We have another caller.
All righty.
Area code 715, you're on the air.
That's Shane.
Dancing with boogers. Is that legal? Somebody tell me that can't be legal now. You don't dance, do you, Bear?
I am dancing with boogers now, officially.
Somebody might want to check the books, make sure that's legal now.
I understand. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Listen to the show. Sound pretty good.
How
you guys all doing?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to see you when you come down for the Bama out in that 1st of May.
Folks, this guy is devoted.
Yes,
he will be coming from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah, I ain't missing nothing. Besides that, I got to prove Brenda that I can run faster than her.
Well, why would you want to drive all the way down here from Wisconsin, Shane? Just tell me the truth.
I don't know. There's this guy down there that likes to dance with boogers. I got to see him. I got to see this. I want to know if he's doing the cha-cha or the tutu or.
Hey, Bear is a regular Fred Astaire. Don't let him fool you.
Oh Lord. Well,
he was called Twinkle Toes first.
It really did. I don't know if he's still in the room, and I'm not singling out on purpose, but a very good friend of mine, North Dakota, John from North Dakota, he has the title from Coming the Farthest. I think Shane was the second. But I'm glad to see John in the room tonight, and he's a stand-up guy, and I think the world loved him, and I missed him. It's good to see you.
Yes. It was a very nice surprise when he clicked on and I seen him in there.
But he's a stand-up guy, too. Actually, Shane, he might could teach you a thing or two. No.
Uh-oh.
No.
What's the class? What's the class?
Oh, Lord. Bigfooting, son. Boogering style.
Oh, for me then. Wait a minute. I'm going to have a new notepad then.
We got to get Vicky in on the deal, too.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get down there and go out with you guys. I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I'm so busy, there's no way I can do it, but I'm trying to get things into the work so I can make my way down there.
You got a spot right beside the campfire, any fire I build, so you bring yourself on.
I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I am too, man. I can't wait to meet you. It was the same way until I met Shane, and then he changed my mind about meeting strangers.
Hopefully for the good.
It was.
He is a good guy.
Shane knows I love him.
Yeah. Even for a Yankee, huh?
Even for a Yankee. So everybody can't be perfect. No.
I tell you, Shane is very good-natured. He did take some pretty rough bragging, and
we gotta give them hell they want, didn't they?
But he best not bring no more rattlesnakes. Let no more rattlesnakes crawl up under his truck.
Hey, I love that. That thing showed up. Yeah, I was going to eat it, but I thought, no.
Yeah. I done told you once, damn it, if I wanted chicken, I'd order chicken. I ain't studying what it tastes like.
Hey, throw some gravy and biscuits on that bad boy. It's all good.
Everything goes good in gravy.
Yeah, gotta always have gravy.
Yep.
Oh, well, Kel, we got some more callers, hon?
All right. Well, you guys, I'm going to get off here.
No.
It's a great first night of your
You
show.
didn't have to run off.
Oh, yeah, we
You didn't have to
do.
run off.
No, we don't have. Y'all don't have to run off.
Area code 701, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello. It
Hey,
must be me, huh? It's John here calling in.
that's John.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I know that Yankee anywhere. That's my bro.
Yeah, it be I figured I better check in, say howdy, and tell you I'm enjoying the show.
I was surprised that you found us, bro, but I am so proud that you did. I have enjoyed you tremendously. Really, I have.
It has been, I think, the first Alabama outing since we have gotten to talk to you, heard your voice. It's great to hear you.
Well,
Shane, is Shane still there? He's done left. Well, go on ahead. Shane come and we took him to that particular spot of Alabama, John. That's why I was wanting to see if Shane was still here. He knows they boogers down there too.
Oh yeah, that's a wild piece of country. It kind of changes your perspective when things are screaming at you in the night out there.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I haven't been, trying not to be unneighborly or anything. I got promoted to deputy chief here in December, so it's been taking most of my time up learning how to be an admin weenie after 30 years on the street. So this really is the first time I got a chance to check in on anything for a while. I'm sure glad I did.
Well, you picked the right night to do it, Hoss. I'm telling you. Hey, congratulations on the promotion. You reckon you can ride a desk?
Well, I'm handling it so far. Afraid I have to dial it back a little bit after all that time on the street, but I'm learning it. So
I know you are. How's Miss Tony doing?
Oh, just fine. She's in fact, she was just out back running the chickens in the coop. We got a mink that's killing a bird every night for us, so we're having to put the chickens actually in the barn, locking them up at night till I can trap the thing.
Oh, you still live in the Sasquatch free zone up there, John?
Yeah, unfortunately I do. There isn't a booger within probably 150, 200 miles of me.
Every time I read of a report from up there, I think about that. I said, well, I bet you John's already done read it.
I keep my ear to the ground pretty good up here. But, yeah, I do miss you guys, and sure glad to hear Shasta and Vic again. And good deal. I'm really liking this.
Well, we're going to have Chad Scott's going to be on here next week. We've got him scheduled for next week. And the week after that, we've got Coonbo on here. So you need to make sure that you come back for both shows, especially old Coonbo. You know, he's one of them outlaws just like all of us. You know that.
Oh, yeah. He and I ran up a heck of a phone bill last weekend. I bet we talked for 3 hours. So.
Oh, if you got Coonbo on the line, you talk for 3 hours.
Pretty easily. But, yeah, you got my email and you got my phone number. You know where to find me at any time. So feel free to give me a shout.
Yeah, that was so bad about old Bo, wasn't it, Hoss?
Yeah, it was. You know, we talked quite a bit about that.
Oh, yeah. John was one of the lucky few that got to meet Bo and get to know him. Because if you ever met the darn dog, you had to know him. He didn't give you an option.
Well, John, it has been really great talking to you. I'm glad everything is working out great for you. Dan's having a little computer problems right now, or he would be on with us.
Okay. Yep. Well, like I say, you guys know where to find me, and I sure appreciate it.
As far as I know, Hoss, you're still a member of the forum too. So come see us, AlabamaBigfoot.com. We're all right there.
I'll do that. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Talk later. Bye-bye.
Well,
okay.
Got anybody else? Are we twiddling our thumbs?
Kel, we got any callers?
No.
Okay, well, we'll get back to Vic.
Heck yeah, we will. Vic's still with us, ain't he?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm glad you are, son. I'm glad you. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just so happy you guys are back on the air. I was in withdrawal. It had been quite a while since you guys had been on the radio, so I'm just kind of soaking it all in. Just glad, like I said, you're back on the air and everything.
We're glad to be back ourselves. We needed the break, you know. When I was interviewed by Bob Corn and all last year, I never understood what the big deal about Blog Talk Radio was, because I didn't think I was doing nothing special or extraordinary. And I've ended up making a bunch of friends doing this, and which I never would have had a chance of making if it hadn't been for Blog Talk Radio. I love what I do. I'm not in it for the money. I love sharing. I look at it kind of like this. If I can point somebody in the right direction so they can see what actually is out there and what they, you know, they'd love to see more than anything in this world. If I can help in any way, further that along, it doesn't bother me a lick. That's the only reward I'm looking for, because it's really justification about what is actually there. People can sit there and talk all they want to about, oh, I know better than this, but they aren't the ones getting out there looking for it, and I already know this.
We have another caller. Area code 413, you're on the air.
Hey, Kelly, it's Evelyn.
Oh, hey,
oh, look at that. There's Evelyn.
You guys are awesome.
Happy birthday, Evelyn.
Thank you so much. I got a few more hours to wait until I have to deal with one more year getting older.
Well, we got you started off early, see.
Yes, you did. Even my mother called me today to wish me a happy birthday. She said she wanted to be the first.
Well, happy birthday,
I don't know
girl.
if they was the first. I think somebody's already posted on the Bama forum. I said they jumping the gun.
Oh, really? Oh, I'll have to go and check it out. You guys having fun? You sound awesome.
Well, we tried. It's been a little while. We kind of rusty, but I guarantee you we're going to get the kinks out for the end of the night.
We're a little rusty, but, hi.
Sounds far to me.
I don't know. I kind of like it with the kinks in it.
Hi, Matt. I love it
with original.
Yep.
The kinks are awesome. Well, I don't want to stay on too long. I just wanted to call and wish you guys good luck.
Well, thank
you. And,
Matt,
you have an awesome voice. You should be on a lot more.
They're trying to get me on here, but I don't know.
Oh, come on.
You don't know.
I don't like, hanging around these type of people too much.
We've been with him for the last two days, and then we had come home, well, actually 2 or 3 last week, come home on Thursday, went back up on Friday night. He's probably sick of us.
Yeah, he's sick of us.
Well, I know
we have another caller.
Well, all right, I'm going to get off the phone. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Okay,
bye,
Amy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Caller 615, you're on the air.
This is D-Law.
Hey, D-Law. Hey.
Hey, brother, what you up to, Hoss?
Hey,
I'm in Little Rock and Memphis. But I have a complaint already.
Uh-oh. What's the complaint?
I want you and Chef to quit saying back east. We don't live back east. We live in the south. Back east makes you live in Boston or something.
I've been out here so long.
Get your answer right there. Good show tonight. Enjoy it.
Me and Dan got to get up with D-Law this weekend at the Tulsa Gun Show in Tulsa, and I had a fabulous time. I hope that he did. He was passing out on me when I was leaving. I done bored him. I talked him to death.
I'm sorry, D-Law. I come back out there this morning with Dan, and they said you was way off in the far 40.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you. Maybe we can, get together some other time, but I did enjoy, getting together with Dan and Bear.
Oh, they just had a ball. They come home and they were just on cloud nine. They had a big time with you.
Yep.
I'm going to check out now. Good.
You take care of yourself, man. We really appreciate you being there for us. We enjoyed it.
And thanks for calling in.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, Shasta and Bear, I'm going to head off here at 2 and just listen in on the radio. Thanks again for having me on, and again, it's a great show.
Well, we appreciate it, Rick. You take care of yourself, brother, and we'll be talking. I'm thinking now, since all this has come about, because a lot of people have put work into it. I don't want to go off the air tonight while he's on here. If it hadn't been for Matt, Oklahoma Squatch, he's the one that's done all the work for this show. I mean, he's made the video. He's the one who wrote the song. He recorded the song, the whole name, the whole image. And what you see today is not what you're going to get totally. I'm telling you, we got some major surprises coming. And it's going to be well worth your while. Tonight we got to discuss Bigfoot a little bit. We didn't get to as much as we're going to. Next show next week with Chad Scott's going to be 2 hours long, and we're going to talk. Probably it's going to be the whole show. Definitely going to be centered around Bigfoot. And in 2 weeks when we have Tim Baker Coonbo on here, we're going to discuss certain aspects of this amazing animal. And we kind of want to be different than we're the outlaws. If people are going to bellyache and whine about sort of some of the things we claim we've seen through hard work, trial and error, I mean, just try some of the stuff. Don't put it down. Why would we be sitting here selling snake oil medicine when we know that it didn't work? So, to each his own. I respect, if you don't like what we're saying or think that what we're saying is, don't go in line with what you think, at least have the respect to keep that opinion to yourself, because, I'm not going to sit there and get into an argument of words with anybody. There's no sense in it, people, and it's stupid. And I'd just rather let bygones be bygones, take what you want to take, and let's all go on about our business and have fun doing this, because scientific community is going to have to come to their own conclusions on their own, and there ain't nothing we're going to do about it. So let's go out there, have a good time doing what we're doing, and learn as much as we can about this amazing animal.
Those are some good points. Two things, too, Bear, that I wanted to share, in my opinion. That says a lot about the fact that you lay it out there on the table and offered to take anybody out with you to prove what you say is true. That means a lot. Somebody that was making all this up, they wouldn't make that offer. So that means a lot.
I've never had nothing to hide, and out of everybody in this room right here, Shasta and Kelly both know me a lot longer. And but if I tell you what all I'm going to tell you is I'm going to take you where they're at, and if it happens, it happens. Poor Kelly has never seen one. Shasta does not want to see one, but they have both been through some amazing things that they know most certainly that I didn't cause to happen, and it's been some wild and hairy situation, hasn't it, ladies?
It certainly has.
I'm still waiting for the day until I can see one up close and personal.
Well, we've had them up close. We just didn't see them exactly.
That might be a good thing.
Yep. Well,
I'm sorry to interrupt there, buddy.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
I just wanted to share with you and Shasta, what really impresses me is I've talked to people in private. I've talked to more than a couple of people that have been out with you. So, they went out with you so that you could have a chance to show them what you offered everyone else. And everyone that I talked to the person, they all said, yeah, whenever I went out with him, when I did go out with Bear, what he said was true. He did call them in. Maybe at first I was skeptical, but he did back up his claims. He did call them in. And again, that's what every single person I've spoken to privately, they all told me the same thing, that what you claimed, you backed up.
And the best thing about going out with us is we're a lot cheaper.
Well, we ain't got sense enough to charge nobody, or either we ain't got enough people that's got deep pockets that want to go out with us.
I think our rules are bring your own snacks and drinks, and then we'll usually chime in and pitch in and fix a good meal or two, and that's about all anybody has to bring. Of course, there's camping stuff.
I think other than personal fuel to get there, of course you got to drive there, or if you stay in a hotel or do like we do, can't wait to get there, so you drive all night long. You're not out but about $30 at the most a head for a whole weekend, and that's getting cabins and everything. We slept in comfort. We have done it.
We're all broke, so we go as cheap as possible, and we know how to save some money.
Oh,
yes, we do.
It would be a lot more fun out there if we did have the financing to get the equipment, because a lot of these things we'd be talking about, it would be nice to have thermal imaging all the time, wouldn't it?
Well,
we just work with what we got.
We enjoy what we do, and we enjoy the people. And to me, it's about the people. Well, I've always said that. It's always been about the people I meet. And the boogers are just a sideline. It's just a fun thing to go do and learn and see what you can see, find what you can find.
Well, look, it's not just about going out there and being all serious about the other. We go out there and have a good time doing it. We make friends. We make lasting friendships, and we do our best to do that. Do what? Thought I heard something. Maybe I'm hearing stuff now. But anyway, we go out and look at new. It's an adventure. Is it not an adventure in itself?
Yes, it is. You make lots of good memories.
Well, if you ain't having fun, then why do it?
Exactly.
That's right.
That's true.
We're not boring. At least we're not boring.
Well,
we got about 4 minutes.
We're not the classical picture-perfect image of what a lot of people want a Bigfoot, quote-unquote, researcher to be. We're not out there to try to please anybody else but our own drive and proof that we want to bring back for ourselves. We have a great time doing it. I've met great people, and I love doing it. I'm going to let Chasta close us out. Appreciate all our listeners. I promise you next week we're going to be talking Bigfoot. We're going to have Chad Scott for a total of 2 hours. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot good time, and I'm sure that with the things Chad shares with you, you're going to learn something. So I'll leave it off to the rest of y'all. I'll see y'all ladies next week.
We'll be here. Sure will. I would like to remind everyone to go to our MySpace page. Let's see here. It's Bigfoot Outlaws. Let's see, www.myspace.com, Bigfoot BF Outlaws. And add us to your friends, and you can kind of keep up with us there. And let's see here. Also, our band that we had tonight, Preacher Stone. Let me put them up one more time before we get out of here.
We appreciate them allowing us to use their music. And we will have more of their music on the air in the future.
Okay, it's not letting me post it up. Let me give it to you real quick. It's at www.myspace.com, Preacher Stone Rocks. I think that one will be an easy one to remember, guys. And tell you what, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we'll see y'all all next week. From all of us Bigfoot Outlaws, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Be back with all you guys.
We got Chad Scott. He's one of our main hosts too. He's unfortunately he works for a living. Some of us don't, but he works every other week, and the week that he's not working, he will be on here as a regular co-host of ours too. Plus, we've got our good buddy and the guy who has designed the show, created the show, named the show, come up with the music for the show, the video for the show, and we have numerous other major surprises coming up in the future. And we'll be speaking very highly of them a little bit later on in the show. Some things you won't notice quite yet, but you'll notice them when they happen. We're just a bunch of outlaws. I mean, doggone it, I've been told for so long, you know, some of the things, and you know what's so darn funny about it is, guys, I understand completely why people just stand back and they just think, well, you know, how in the world can a old country boy from Mississippi be seeing boogers like he says he is? Well, I used to think that thought too when I was trying to count them. And up until that point in time, I'd counted 8, but since then I've been fortunate enough to see some things that a lot of other people just don't see a lot of, but I can understand that. There's a certain attitude and a way you got to be in the woods before you're accepted, and this creature is totally sensitive to all of that. And I'd like to think I have achieved this type of attitude. I know I don't care to partake of the game in the woods as much as I used to, but I love to hunt. But the last 4 or 5 years, I've basically just been in the woods. I haven't harvested a deer in at least 3 years, so I nothing major.
Bigfoot Outlaw Radio with your host Jim Grant, Edema, Oklahoma Squash, the biggest outlaw of all, Chad Scott, and guess who else? Oklahoma's own Shasta. Bigfoot Outlaw Radio.
Good evening, everybody. It's been a while, but I'm back on the air live, in the flesh, ready to rock and roll. How is everybody doing out there tonight? I hope that you took time to spend with us while we had a little fun and talked about Bigfoot just a little while. And we hope that you enjoyed enough that you'll come back and see us often. And we love each and every one of our listeners. Their word and their comments are very much appreciated. Got 2 of the greatest female Bigfoot observers in the world with me, Vicki and Kelly from Texas. How y'all ladies doing tonight?
Doing great on this end and ready to go.
I'm doing just dandy.
Just a dandy?
Yeah.
It's good to hear you guys' voice again over there.
Same here. It's good to be back on there and be back in the chat, cutting up with everybody like I usually do. Hey, everybody out there. It's good to be back and have. I mean, everyone is welcome you know, we don't charge nobody, and if anybody would enjoy to go, just let us know sometimes, and we'll see what we can do. And
no problem with that. None at all.
There's one other little thing here that we need to do, and for those of us people out there that know us will understand this, and for those out there that don't, we do ask you to kind of be a little patient with us. But we had, to us, a member of our group passed. He died, and we want to dedicate this show to him. Even though he is a four-legged friend, he was a damn good friend, and that was Tim, his dog's Bo. And so this show is dedicated to Bo.
Yep, we're really going to miss he was a companion with us, really. You know, I mean, yes, he was a dog, and yes, I wanted to kill that dog half a dozen times, but he was really a part of us. I mean, there's not many things we can speak of that we've done in our past that does not entail a retelling over and over and over of tales of Bo.
Yes, Bo was a very unique dog. He was with us when a lot of us all got together, and he just became a part of each of us. And so to not dedicate this show to Bo would, to me, just be an insult. He's just we each have so many fond memories of him that it was a very sad time for us when he died. Hello?
Yeah, one of the memories that I have of Bo was back in May, one of our outings, and that was the night that we got skunked. You remember that, Vicki?
Yes, we did.
And when we were scrambling to get into the vehicle in Tim's truck, Bo jumped in and he got into my lap. And he's not he's a big, pretty good size.
It's just an attitude, and it's hard for people at times to think what I'm saying is the truth. My major deal is I want to help people. I want to help them to better understand what is out there, to be able to have an opportunity or a chance to see one for themselves. And if people want to hear what I have to say, you're the ones I'm talking to. But, if other distractors or whatever you want to call them want to make light of something that somebody's wanting to freely share, and for you to really just make an attempt at the methods and the things shared with you on the show from other researchers or observers. I don't even like the word researchers. But that makes us outlaws in the field, because what surprises and amazes me, if these guys who call themselves, the know-alls of the Bigfoot world, if they knew what they act like they knew, why don't they share it with everybody? Do y'all get my drift?
Yes, that's true, but I know people are kind of funny about doing that because of the criticism. And with me, it's just put it all out there, take it or leave it, shelf it, throw it out, use it if you can. It's just, I like the flow of information, and I like to sift through all of it myself and make my own decision.
Right. Well, we don't want to. We're learning. That's why we're still out there doing what we love to do, because not only is this a big adventure for us, we're learning new things as we go, and we like sharing these experiences. No, we're not out there with a bunch of cameras and thermals and recorders. Our main objective is to learn instead of to collect anything that would be considered evidence anyway, which I'm not making no excuses. I'm really not. I've offered half a dozen times to come and see it for yourself, bring all the equipment you want to bring with you, and we'll see what happens.
Yes,
I mean.
Yep. You have a dog. Yes, he is. I guess my favorite one would be when Bo had, we were going out, we had loaded up, and he always thought whenever Tim's big dually fired up, he was supposed to be in it. And so we had loaded up, and we had went out doing our observing that we do, and we had came back, and Tim had said, "What's that up in the road?" And he speeded up, and it was Bo. Well, we had locked Bo in his big, nice, new RV, and Bo had got out, but we didn't know how he had got out. And I remember we went to the door. He unlocked the door, and there was about a foot, 2 foot of the inside of the door that just fell on the ground. And the inside was in shambles. My dog, Max, his cubby, he was in his cubby. It's all womper-jawed and turned every which way, and it was just a wreck. That's one of my fond memories of Bo. Bear, what's one of your fond memories? I think we have lost Bear.
Oh, there he is.
Hello? Well,
There he is. Bear, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's one of your fond memories of Bo?
My fondest memory is the time that it was your very first outing up there in northeast Mississippi. And we had driven down this AP road, the infamous AP road. We'll have to get into that on one of our future shows. But anyhow, to get out of there, you had to drive all the way around. Well, I told Coonbo, you just drive on out, and me and Shasta will stay back here. You know, everything will quiet down. They'll think everybody left. Maybe something will come out. And it took about 15, 20 minutes for Coonbo to get around to the other side where he was going to pick us up at. And after they had left, we were standing there by this cotton field, and I seen something dart across the road up the hill from us. And